your girl Sunshine Love, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I have some awesome information for you, some great information. Okay, before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe so you can get the latest notifications when I start dropping these gems, dropping these videos on you. Okay, listen. Before we get into today's topic of discussion, I'm gonna need for you to first make sure you got your notepad, your journal, your favorite pen to go with it, and you can't leave out your wine, your drink of choice. Now for me, I got a little Moscato, and just to let you know, this is about $3 at Kroger's. If you scroll down to some of my videos, I think I did a review on it. It could be a different one. I'm not sure at this moment, but it's at Kroger's. I'll drop the link in the description. But if you're looking for an inexpensive wine and you on a budget, sweetie, let me tell you, this right here, it does the job, okay? Oh. Have to get my sip in. Now listen, I have what's called the do you theory. Now you ask, do you? What does that mean? We tend to, in life, get so emotional, engulfed and involved in what people are not doing, what they are doing, what they're saying, what they're not saying, right? That it at some point becomes emotionally draining. How am I able to balance that? How am I able to handle that? Because now it's becoming overwhelming, right? Listen, let me give you some examples. Say, for example, you have a group of friends. You hardly are ever invited. They go out for brunch, they go out for happy hour, they call you when it's convenient. The first thing you normally do is get upset, get in your feelings. You may mention it to one of the friends like, hey, what's up? Y'all don't never like invite me all of the time, and I really kind of only hear from y'all when y'all need something, when you want something. You then therefore get upset. You may vent. You may react. You may say, you know what? I'm not even going to call them no more. But you literally sitting at home in your feelings. Here's what you say. Do you? You have a best friend. The dynamics of the relationship has changed. You're starting to see that they have time and energy for everybody else but you. You're on a job. They don't appreciate you, right? You put in the work, coming in when you're supposed to, going the extra mile. Okay. You're in a relationship, been in it for a little minute. You have been literally bending over backwards, giving your all, doing the most. You feel like you're pouring so much into this relationship, but you're not getting it back. Okay. Do you? You are trying to get this business off the ground. And when you came up with this idea, in your mind, you thought, hey, my closest family member and friend circle, they will support me, right? But hey, there are strangers who don't really even know me who support me more than family members do. Some of the time, they don't even share my content or share the things that I put on my social media platform. But yet, they call me and ask me how your little business going. Do you? You have people that have literally walked out of your life with not even an explanation. They've been distant. They've been kind of handling you a certain way. And you're wondering, what did I actually do to them? I've always been there. I've always been helpful. I'm a really good person, and I always feel like I get the short end of the stick. Do you? Here's what happens when you start to change and shift your mindset from always caring and wondering and worrying and being concerned and being confused on why you're moving the way you're moving, why you're acting to me the way that you are. And it is impacting me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm trying to pray about it. I'm trying to ask for God to send me signs about it, but yet you are still moving how you moving. And it is truly making me feel some kind of way. Here's what happened when you change your mindset and say, do you? You start to take control of your life back. When you start to develop that mindset of do you truly allow people to do them. Because here's what I've learned in the course of my life. You cannot control people. You cannot change people. They are who they are. And at the end of the day, sometimes when you start to release that and take your life back and take ownership of your feelings and your emotions, you therefore are more cognitive and in control and more aware. So you can therefore put that back into their hands so they can start seeing, okay, what they're truly missing and what they truly got. The old saying is, you don't miss what you got until it's gone, right? Here's another thing that what happens. You release that negative and you therefore are manifesting the positive. So when you start to take control of your mental and emotional mindset back, you therefore are laying the foundation and setting the tone of how you need to be loved, how you deserve to be loved. You to start to define your happiness versus allowing your happiness to be defined on other people's movements. We're going to send some more on that because that was a good one. I'm going to repeat it. Instead of letting your life to be defined and your happiness to be defined, your love to be defined on somebody else's movements. Again, people are going to do just what they want to do. And although we would like for things to be different, we would like for people to treat us how we really want to be treated. We would like for them to treat us like we treat them. That's not always the case, because you have to understand, innately, we're humans. We all make mistakes. We all sin if we fall short, right? But in life, you have people that come from different backgrounds of life. We learn to do things differently. We learn to handle disagreements differently. You have individuals who have unresolved trauma and they go into relationships and they try to be healthy and conduct relationships on a healthy regard, but they can't, because there are a lot of us that truly have not taken the time to see, what does love look like for me? What is it going to take for me to be happy? And as long as I allow people to put me in a position where they feel like I'm an option, you will always be there sitting and wondering why they're handling you as they are. So every single time you get into that mindset where you feel like you're going to be in that emotional place, don't even do it. Do you? You have family members and you're always the problem solver. You're always the fixer. You're always the one who they have to come to and talk about everything. And at some point in time of that download, it becomes emotionally overwhelming, because at no point in time is anyone ever asking, how do you feel? Are you capable and mentally ready to handle the information that I'm getting ready to download to you? Can your mind handle that right now? Do you have anything going on? See, you're never the person that they think about first, but they're always the person that they come to when they want to talk about everything. And then here you go, being the fixer, being the problem solver. Stop. Do you. Now, that does not mean I don't care about you. That doesn't mean that I don't love you. It means that I'm going to have to take some time for me, start loving me, start getting me in order. But because before I'm able to help you and be there for you and give you advice and always feeling like I got the short end of the stick, it's time for me to take a step back, reevaluate things, and get my mind and my peace and my spirit in order. And while I'm doing that, I have to allow you to do you. Baby, when you start to develop that mindset, you will be amazed at how you feel. Listen, I used to be one of those people that, remember the show Girlfriends? I would always imagine that when I got in my true woman adulthood in life, that I would have a close set of like 4 girlfriends or 4 friends where we talked about everything. We traveled, we did things, we were in each other's lives like that. I came to adulthood and I realized that that is not the case. A lot of things that we see on movies and on TV is just what that is. Life is life. You have a lot of people who have their own personal things going on, and a lot of times when you are in friendships, you might not always have time for each other. Life be lifing, right? So I had to get to a place where I was okay with just me, alone. I started taking myself out on dates. I started doing things with just me, taking walks, going out to eat by myself, sitting outside with some wine and a fresh breeze, just enjoying the company of myself. I also started to be mindful of what input that I was allowing to come into my mind, what I was listening to, what I was hearing, who I was talking to, who I was venting to, who I was asking to pray for me. There's so many things that I learned once I started to be aware of what I was actually doing and how much time and energy I was giving to other people in so many areas of my life that they weren't giving to me. I took my joy and my peace back. And when I tell you that speaks volumes, I would rather be sitting in my home alone, sipping on my wine, watching my Netflix, watching my Lifetime, and in peace and happiness, rather than being in the company of individuals who don't really care for me like that. I'm not at a place in my life where I want to be around people who are not authentic, people who are not genuine. And if you feel like that, it's time for you to take that back on today. Not tomorrow, but right now, today. There are 2 things that you can't get back, your time and your energy. So why are you wasting it on people who are not reciprocating and giving back to you what you give to them? You're always saying, I'm a good person. I'm always there for everybody. And you tired, and I completely understand. But in order for you to be at a place of mental peace, emotional peace, a place where you just happy with you, where you truly look in the mirror and say, you know what, girl? Or you know what, King? I love you. You are the bomb. That's all, period. When you get to that place and you're able to tell yourself that, you will be amazed at how you feel. Start taking ownership of your life back. Whenever you start getting to that place, and it's going to happen, You always have that one friend that call you and talking about that same person that they've been with, and they're not never going to leave the relationship. Listen, I can't do it right now. I'm sorry. You keep calling me about the same issue. I love you. I want to be there for you. If it's anything else that you have going on in your life, I want to always be there for you. I'm going to pray for you. But if you continue to come to me about the same thing over and over again, and there's not going to be a solution to the problem that you're venting about, all of the things that you're downloading to me about, I can no longer do it. See, here's another thing that you have to understand. Energy is contagious. So say, for example, you're already feeling some type of way about something. It could be you're having problems with your children. It could be that you're having problems with your job. You're already in that place of the borderline of depression. And there's some of us that are already probably in it and dealing with anxiety. In positions where we're feeling like we're not enough, feeling where we're alone, feeling like we're not loved. So you already have that energy that you're trying to deal with and trying to suppress. Now, here comes somebody else with their spirits and their energies that they're carrying. And then it's just like having, perfect example, a box. And you're moving. And you know this box is about this big. And this is the only box that you have for this particular space of items that are going to go into this particular box. Now, you already know all that stuff in this particular area can't fit in that box, but you're going to try to fit it in there anyway. And you keep piling it on and piling it on. And here you go trying to close and tape it. And it's spewing out the top and the bottom. See, that's what's happening when you allow people to come in your space and you already got things that you're dealing with. It's adding on top, on top, on top, on top, on top. And then you get so overwhelmed and so just frustrated with life. And for some of us, we don't always tell people how we're feeling. We keep it bottled up inside. And then when you allow those people with their energies to come into your space, sometimes those spirits and energies from them stay. So not only are you dealing with yours, you're dealing with somebody else's mess. That's why you got to be careful who you let pray for you. Everybody can't pray over you. Because there's so many of us that's dealing with our own demons, our own spirit, our own life. And here I come, allowing you to pray for me, and you dealing with issues with sexual addiction. You dealing with addiction of a multitude of things. Addiction doesn't just come in the form of drugs. You can be addicted to being jealous, being envious, gossiping. So that's why you have to be truly careful when you start doing the work, the foundation and core work on you. You have to be mindful. You have to be cognitive and aware of who you are allowing in your space. If people coming in your space is always draining you and they're pulling out more than they're pouring in, that is a problem. Do you? That's what you're going to have to start saying. And it's okay to say it out loud. Now, for some of us, we try to be more respectful. But there are some of us who are outright blunt and don't sugarcoat anything. And I love those kind of people because my son is that way. Whatever he was thinking, he was saying it. It is what it is, and that's my favorite saying. It is what it is on today. You're going to either like it, love it, or you're going to either move around. And if you choose to move around and leave, then that means you were never meant to be in my life in the first place. And that's on period. And when the wrong people move out of your life, that's fine. That means God is going to replace those with the one that he intended to be there. Because many times we try to attach ourselves to people that God is trying to detach us from. And we wonder why we're going through so many things in our life and why we're such an emotional torment. Because we're trying to hang on. We're trying to give the benefit of the doubt. We're trying to pray and save. Listen, there are some people that you have to love and pray from a distance, and it's not personal. It just means that the space that I'm in and where I'm going, you can't dwell in my space. It's not personal, but you're going to have to start taking your life back, because you have spent so much of your time and your days and nights have been so consumed of giving and doing and being upset and being hurt, crying behind closed doors. I don't know who this is for, but I know you are tired. They don't even see the tears that you cry at night. But trust me, God does. He sees all. He knows all. See, when we're praying for things, we have to be mindful of not only what we're praying for, we have to be prepared for what we're going to get from the prayer. See, God may not always give you what you want, but he will give you what he feels that you need. So that's why when you're praying for things and you asking God for things, you have to be willing to do the work and do the due diligence in your life. It's just like applying for a job, or you're in a career and you're saying, hey, I'm not happy with this company. I don't feel like I'm being properly set up for success. I feel like I'm making lateral moves, right? Now, you go on Indeed, you go on Monster, you apply for the job, and that's it. Or you are praying to ask God to bless you with a better job, and you don't look at the job requisition. You're not looking at the type of positions that you want, that you feel that are going to make you happy career-wise, that are going to be on the right track and movement of where you're wanting to go. You ain't did no research. You ain't looked up no companies. You're not trying to update your resume. You're not trying to look at the job requisitions to make sure that your resume aligns. You're not trying to do no work. You just sat there and prayed and was like, you know what, God? Please bless me with a better job. I want more money. And you detail with the prayer. God, I want 6 figures. I want benefits. I want them to be employee-sponsored benefits. And I want vacation for about 120 days when I start. And then I want sick time. And then I want some float days. Ooh, and then I want them to give me some employee reimbursement programs. And I want them to, they got insurance for the dog and pets too. Like, you have been thorough with it. Ooh, I want to be hybrid. And I want them to have me a flex schedule. Ooh, better yet, I want to work from home. You got a whole list. A whole list. But what you have not done is your due diligence to match up for what you're praying for. So, in the course of you telling people to do you, you truly need to be prepared to do you. And then you're going to have to be okay with the results of that. See, a lot of times the reason why we're not doing that and we're not developing this mentality is because we're fearful of rejection. We go into situations to be for validation, the need to be needed and wanted. That's okay with us to a certain extent, but you're still not happy. And now that you're going to have to start saying, do you, you're going to have to be comfortable with how they are going to react, because people may not always react how you want them to react. And you're going to have to be okay with that. Do you. I'm going to allow you to do you because that's exactly what you're going to do anyway. And in the course of that, I'm going to do me. And I'm going to work on me. And I'm going to develop self-love, self-respect, self-accountability, however that looks like for me. I'm going to start spending more time with me, journaling my thoughts, taking up a hobby, walking, exercising, eating healthier, because a lot of what I eat and what I drink is conducive to me having a healthy mind, body, and soul. It has to do with your hair, your nails, and all of that. Your skin glowing. Fully take this time to really work on you while you telling them to do you. Right? Try it. I want you to try it. Now, you watching this video today. We're going to do 3 days. I love 3 because 3 is a great number. You know, we're going to pull up all the things that 3 means. Okay? So, the spiritual meaning of 3 is 3 represents Trinity of the mind, body, and spirit. How about that? It also represents the connection, the knowledge, the understanding, and that's a little bit more in depth than I wanted to know, but 3 is a good number. And if you're looking at the angel number of 3, the angel 3 means that you have the answers from inside. Come on through, God. Won't He lead you to the right place, the source of information? Encouragement to access the truth. What else here? 3 in your life, and when you see 3s, and a lot of times they look up the symbolization of this when you're seeing the pattern of 3s and 1s and 2s on a regular basis, right? So ultimately, this is why I like 3, because it's also about manifestation as well. So creativity and nurturing your positive energy, right? And 3 is significant of that, right? So we're going to do 3 days. Try it for 3 days. Let me know your feedback. Put it in the comments. I love to see how this is working for you. Or if you're already doing this, we have some people that are going to be watching this video and in these comments and may need advice, right? What I want to start doing is building a community where we're here for each other, we're praying for each other and with each other, right? Genuineness. Family that looks out for each other stays together, okay? We're going to have to build this community up, right? So, try it. Let me know how it works for you. And I'm going to be following up with some other videos. So, the next series of videos that is going to be probably published by tomorrow, no later than the end of this week. So again, like and subscribe to the channel, because the next series that I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be a 4-part video on holding a grudge and who is it really hurting. Awesome information, great, helpful, informative information. Okay, so listen. If you already follow me on TikTok, you know my motto. Be purposeful, be impactful, and most importantly, be great on purpose, because I know that you are, I know that you will, and I know that you can, and that's on period. Okay? If you're not watching me on TikTok, follow me, Sunshine Life Lover. Okay? I have some awesome videos on there, tons of information for you. Sharing is caring. So go ahead and go on there, see what resonates with you, and then share with a family member or friend. Because we all need some type of encouragement and uplifting in some shape, form, or fashion, right? Listen, I hope that this information helps you. I hope it resonates. Remember, we're changing the mindset. We're changing the game. Somebody coming to you, making you feel some kind of way, we not even are going to react. We're not even going to handle it as we normally would. Do you? Here's another thing I want you to do and be mindful of. And this is also going to help my sisters and brothers who deal with anxiety. When you first have the thought of whatever it is, it could be something that triggers you. It could be something that somebody said to you or did to you, and you have the thought. From the thought, it turns into an emotion and a feeling. And from there, what you typically do is it goes to a behavior and an action, and you react, right? You're ready to go from 1 to 1,000 real quick. You're ready to react off of the action. Here's what I want you to do. When it first gets to the thought, stop. Before it gets from the thought to the emotion, in between that point, sit down, close your eyes, shut up and be quiet. Process, think, and pray. Don't react. That's going to help you control that emotion and that feeling, and for you to be mindful of your reaction and how that's transitioning. Because a lot of times when we react, it's in a negative capacity. We're going to do things differently, okay? We're going to sit down and we're going to be quiet. And we're not going to disrupt the rest of the world with what we got going on. We're going to stop. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to meditate, and we're going to pray. If you got to count to 10, 15, 30, however numbers you need to count from, whatever you need to pray for, whatever you need to do in the intro of that. But I just want you to be quiet, sit there, think, sit idle. Don't think about nothing. Don't do nothing. Just either count or pray. Those are your options. Them your two options. You will be surprised of how much control you take back over that anxiety. Don't react, and don't disrupt the household and the rest of the world. You sit there and you be quiet. Try it. Okay? This is your girl, Sunshine Love. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Again, be purposeful, be impactful, be great on purpose. Because again, I know that you are, I know that you will, I know that you can, because you're the bomb. That's on period. Okay? You have a blessed and phenomenal day, okay? Make sure that you took your notes in your journal. Make sure that you are journaling, right? If you don't have a journal, go get one from Walmart. I typically get mine from Ross. They're really inexpensive, okay? And then they also have positive affirmations and words of encouragement on there, just to constantly remind you that you are loved and you are awesome and you are great. So thank you for watching. You have a blessed day, night, evening, whatever time it is in your world. Okay? Stay tuned for more videos from your girl, Sunshine Love. You have a great one. Bye-bye.